What's up, fam? Last time we talked about evaluating our content and how we were consciously working on improving in certain areas. So, this episode, we're going to talk about how life kind of came at us quick with a lot of important stuff and commitments, and how that affected our content and our mental state, and how everything shook down there.
So, a few weeks ago, we were riding some pretty good momentum.
It was right after the switch, or the news about Mixer.
Yeah.
And then the Twitch extension for Destiny was a big thing.
Yeah,
as well.
there were a lot of kind of big things going on at that time. So we're riding a really good momentum wave. We were feeling really good about our content and like where we were headed and all that good stuff. And then we had a lot of real life stuff come up.
Boom. Right in the face. But it was good stuff. Like, so we had Bachelor and Bachelorette party on the same weekend.
Yep.
So we were both gone for that one weekend, and then the following weekend right after, we had a wedding to go to. It was a small thing. It was pretty safe. There was about
20 people there.
20 people there at a cottage that had a decent amount of space. So
it was a great time. Honestly, it was like two of our really, really good friends, like, dare I say, best friends. And, you know, like I was maid of honor. Pete helped a lot with setting up and whatnot. So we were up there early, you know, in the weekend I guess we went up Friday to help start to set up everything and go through all that. Everything was beautiful. The wedding was beautiful. The weather was beautiful. Everything was like literally perfect. And it was so nice to see our friends. It was so nice to get up there and get outside, and I really wouldn't have changed anything. It's just that life and streaming can be rough sometimes.
Yeah, and it was kind of a thing where even leading up to it and during, like, in between the two events, I guess you could say, we're kind of like humming and hawing, like, oh man, it's 2 weekends in a row. It's like, should we really be gathering like this? But I mean, like I said, it was mostly outside as well.
Yeah.
Which, you know, helps, and it wasn't that many people. And coming out of it on the other side, we're definitely both 100% grateful that it happened, because
100%.
It was really good to catch up with friends, you know, interact again. It's been
interact,
you know, like,
for real though. For real. So it was also kind of rough, because coming home from the first weekend where we had the Bachelorette, I really wasn't feeling well for a few days, and I think I was just worn out. Like, I spent a lot of time out in the sun because we were at the cottage actually for like the girls' weekend, and I haven't really done anything like that in a really long time.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worn out and tired and like trying to catch up on sleep. So I missed some streams. So it basically was pretty much 2 weeks of streams that were not on schedule, that were not like good, in my opinion, as far as our performance.
Our energy levels
were low.
Even for myself, even though I wasn't like technically like feeling run down from the weekends, work's been pretty busy. Work's been pretty busy, and a lot of early mornings and long days, and
you had some startups and stuff that had you working late.
Yeah, so we had a startup last week, but that was like 2 hours away, 2.25. So I had to wake up at like 4 the one day, and it was just a solid like 16-hour days.
It's a little bit of a mess.
It was all on like that. Normally wouldn't be as big of an issue, right? Because we would have the weekends to recharge and kind of fix our sleep a little bit, but it was kind of just hectic.
It was kind of just the way that everything landed, which is no one's fault. Like, like life just comes at you quick sometimes, and it's just the way that the pieces fall, and you just got to get through it and do your best to do what you can, right? So like I said, beautiful wedding, had an absolute blast. It was when we got home from the second weekend, which would have been 2 weeks ago, we noticed like pretty much all the momentum we had was gone. And it was, I mean, part of it was the fact that, you know, like it had been a while now since people started to move from Mixer, so that just is going to die down. We knew that was going to happen. But it's also that like we were like very consistent. We were doing really well. We were streaming a lot. It was good. Like, no matter what we were streaming, everything was looking pretty good. And it kind of feels like we're starting again.
Yeah.
And that's like a really, really, what's the word I'm looking for? It hurts.
It's tough.
It's tough. It hurts. It hurts your mental state. It's hard to see yourself doing so well and then like have things that are kind of out of your control that you got to do, and then come home and it just kind of feels like all of it's gone. And that's not to say that everything was gone. Like we definitely had support. We appreciate you guys. You know, it's not to say that we ever overlook any of that. But when you're going, you know, let's say you're fairly average at like 30, 40 viewers, and then all of a sudden you're sitting at 10. It's kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
So,
well, so
like it got hits you in the gut, and you like, oh.
It's tough. It's tough. And here's the thing as well, when this whole streaming game is about, like, if you really boil it down, it's essentially a popularity thing. It's like, do people enjoy your company? Do people enjoy your content? Are you popular? And then you, like, the biggest indication of your success is usually your concurrent viewers as a streamer. And when you see that take a hit, you're like, well, I guess people just don't like us, you know? And that's like, just being real, that's going to be your knee-jerk reaction. Yeah. That's how it's going to be.
Even though you know.
It doesn't matter how, like, we talk about, you know, keeping your mental state balanced and staying encouraged and stuff, and you're still going to have those thoughts. It's still going to feel like that. So at the end of the day, like, we kind of restructured a little bit with one aspect that we're going to get to here, but we're going to keep going.
I mean, we're good now. It's been a few weeks of us trying to get back into like a new routine. And I feel so much better now mentally than I did 2 weeks ago when we came home. But because we were kind of at a point where we'd already kind of jumbled up our schedule a bunch because of stuff, we decided to kind of look at it and be like, hey, are there any changes we want to make? If we do, we might as well make them now. So we decided to do a split schedule, so morning and evening. And we tried this back when I started full-time before. And we stopped because we were starting after we ate dinner, and when we ate dinner was changing for the evening stream.
So that added a layer of inconsistency and something like beyond our control, where we couldn't stay consistent on the evening stream.
Yes. And then starting, if it was a late, say Pete got home late, we ate a little bit later, and all of a sudden we're starting stream at 8 o'clock. It's like, okay, well, like our evening stream now is like, should only be 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so that was hard. So we stopped doing that, and we started doing like afternoon. Well, I was doing like morning into afternoon, and then we sort of started to shift it later, so that we could get an 8 hours straight where I would be streaming alone for a portion of it, and then Pete would jump on when he got home, because your work isn't consistent. It's based on wherever you are, whenever you get done, right? That kind of thing. So it's like, at least I can be there, and then Pete can kind of jump on when he gets home.
Yep. But that added another layer of another problem, because, for example, say Babe was playing Destiny, and this is just one layer of that specific problem. So like the first one is, say Babe is playing Destiny, starts playing Destiny during the day, and then when I get home, say like I hop on stream at 7, she's already played for, I don't know, like 5 hours, 6 hours. Maybe she doesn't want to play Destiny anymore, but I haven't played all day, right? So I want to play Destiny.
Yeah.
So that creates a little bit of an issue. And then the other one is just in general hours and time, because she's been live for 6 hours. She's starting to get a little tired, whatever, but I'm just hopping on and I'm like fresh.
I mean,
so then it's
part of that actually worked out nicely, because it was like I was getting tired, so you could kind of like pick it up, and I could just kind of be there and like jump in when I felt like I could. If I'm a little bit below this optimal level, then even just the fact of you being tired makes me less. Yeah, because you feed off each other, right? Yeah. So I was getting a lot of headaches by the end of stream. I was getting like very consistent headaches. My glasses have helped a lot with that, but it's still like sitting here for 8 hours without really going anywhere, because you don't want to get up too much and walk around or take a lot of breaks when you're streaming, because like generally people tend to leave when you go on like your be right back screen. There are people that are going to stay, but especially if new people are popping in and they're kind of like, oh, she's been gone for like 10 minutes.
You want to try and optime
the time you have, right? So that was hard, because it was like, I'm sitting here, I'm not really moving. By the time it hits like 5-6 hours, I'm pretty much ready to hop off mentally and physically. I'm tired. I'm not optimal anymore. So anyways, we're doing 2 4-hour chunks now. So supposed to be 10 to
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
And then 6 to 10.
And then 6 to 10. And I've had a hard time getting on for 10. We've been like 10, 30, 11. I go a little bit later. But that's just me trying to shift my schedule, right? Because we've been on this like 2 p.m. to whatever schedule, and I've been sleeping in the morning and staying up later at night. And that's kind of been what we've been on for a long time. So it's kind of trying to shift my schedule, get up a little earlier. And then it leaves this cool part in the middle of the day for me to swap something up, go outside, take Bonsai for a walk, you know, try to work out. I'm going to try to slip that in the middle there, and trying to be active and like refresh myself for the second stream, which has been really nice. It also allows me to kind of like cut up what I'm doing. So it's like the morning stream I can jump on and I can do Zelda, and it's like, okay, now I'm done with that. Yeah. And then it's like, you know, I have a little bit of time to kind of refresh and refocus and figure out what we want to do for the evening stream. It's been nice. I think it's going to be better for us overall.
So far I think it's been working out really well. It's
a pretty drastic shift though. So I mean, it's also that thing where you know, we had a bit of like a momentum drop anyways, and then we swapped up again. So it's kind of taken 3 steps back in hopes of being able to use this to push forward.
Hit 4 steps forward.
Yeah. You know, like it is taking a step back to try to make sure that we have something that works, that's going to be something that we can stick with to move forward. But so far it's been a few weeks of it, and I think it's going really really well. It's been nice to it's been nice to have people come by in the morning too, and chat and have a coffee.
Well, so that's the other thing is when you can start streaming at 10 in the morning. For example, for all the people in Australia, that'll be like 10 at night for them, so they can actually stop by, as opposed to like when they used to show up before, they were probably literally just going to bed at like noon or 1 maybe, but on a normal work week they probably wouldn't be even showing up at all.
It's nicer for time zone stuff for sure. I think it's nice to have the 2 different ones, even if, you know, they might not get a chance to see you all the time. So what else we got going on here?
That's pretty much it for this episode.
I think that's pretty much it.
If you're wondering, I did not style my hair. I woke up like this.
His hair's kind of crazy right now. We were talking about it last night to see if he needs a haircut or what. I don't know.
It's pretty long.
I personally, I've been cutting the sides and doing the fade and all that stuff, but I don't know about the top. It scares me. I'm scared I'm gonna cut it all crooked and it's gonna look real funny. But it's
fine. All we have to do is get it long enough so that it can be put up no matter what, and then if you mess it up, I can just put it back in a ponytail, top knot,
something like that
thing or whatever.
So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see what's going on, you know, 2 weeks from now.
Catch up.
All right,
see you then. Peace.